Did my girlfriend just try to kill me? What do I do? So I'm posting this here because I feel like I'm going crazy. Me, 20, and my girlfriend, 21, have been together for almost a year. We have had a great relationship until this event recently. We are both in college, and we had a Friendsgiving event to go to with our group. It was a potluck sort of thing. Everyone brings your own dish. I brought mac and cheese and my GF also made some brownies. I'm only mentioning this because it's relevant, but I am deathly allergic to walnuts. My girlfriend knows this. If she gets me food, she makes sure there's none in whatever she brings, and I usually ask again just in case as a reminder, because you would be surprised what has what in it. Later at the party, I was going to go over to have one, and I asked her to make sure there were no walnuts, and she said there weren't. I went ahead and ate one. Then I began to feel a bit dizzy and nauseous. I went over to my GF and mentioned I didn't feel so well, asking again about walnuts or cashews in the brownie, and she said no. She said I was fine and to just enjoy the party. Then I realized I was starting to break out into hives and my throat was itching and realized I was having a reaction. At this point, I felt my tongue start to swell up and I could feel my airway getting smaller, which is extremely scary as it means I was going into anaphylactic shock. I asked her for my EpiPen, usually keeps it in her purse when we go places since I don't have a bag, but she said it was in the car and ran out to get it. I used it on myself and had to go to the hospital. It was really embarrassing because I basically killed the party for everyone, but everyone was just glad I turned out okay. This is where there's a problem. I didn't eat anything at that party except the apple cider and that brownie. I asked my GF about it again and she broke down crying saying she did put them in there as it was in the recipe, but forgot when I asked. Apparently she remembered after I had to go to the hospital and felt really embarrassed it took so long to remember and didn't want to tell me. I feel like she's lying to me. She never buys anything or cooks with walnuts. She said she hates them. But then she puts them in brownies and then forgets she did after asking her twice and saying I'm going to eat them. She has known I'm deathly allergic ever since we started dating and I just don't get how she forgot twice, especially if she literally made them 2 hours before. The problem is if she did it on purpose, that literally makes no sense either. I don't see why she would ever do something like that, but I also don't see how it could be an accident. I'm just very confused and concerned. In all honesty, I really like her, but I'm tempted to leave after that because the whole ordeal was very scary and I can't help but blame it on her, but I'm also scared I'm overeating and maybe it really was an accident. I'm just not sure. Update: no, I don't believe she's actually trying to kill me. After reading a lot of the comments, my best guess is she doubted the severity of my allergy and put the walnuts in the brownies to prove her point in a really stupid way. I'm going to sit down and talk with her, and if this is the case, I'm going to break up with her. I called her and said I wanted to talk with her later today. Relevant comments. Commenter 1, if she gets me food she makes sure there's none in whatever she brings me. She told me I was fine and to just enjoy the party. I'm not trying to encourage jumping to conclusions, but these two quotes are literally counts against her being just simply forgetful. Real suspicious. YA, I agree, but purposely feeding them doesn't make a lot of sense either. A lot of other commenters point out that some people think others exaggerate how allergic they are to certain foods until they see a reaction firsthand. I think I'm just going to sit down and talk with her and ask if that's what it was. If it's true, I'll have to think about whether I want to work past that or not. Commenter 2, as someone with celiac disease, an autoimmune disorder that can literally cause me cancer if I eat gluten, wheat, barley, rye, uninhibited, it would be a huge breach of trust for someone whom I trust to not take me seriously and put something with wheat in front of me knowing I'll assume it's safe because of my relationship with them. I don't have these expectations of everyone, but I absolutely do for close friends, family, and my partner. To make excuses for someone to be forgetful when their obligations to you exceed random people on the street is a life-endangering choice for you. You may look at it differently than me, but I wouldn't be able to look past someone this close to me having such a lapse of judgment that I could have died. No, I agree. A lot of the comments are mentioning how could you not possibly taste the walnuts and stuff like that. The reality is I just wasn't really paying attention because I asked her already. There were little crunchy bits in it, but I like crushed peanuts in my brownies. She knows that, and my default wasn't just going to be oh hey she's lying straight to my face and giving me something that could kill me. If she was just trying to prove a point, that is really fucked up and I don't know if I can get past that. Commenter 3, hey, first off, don't feel embarrassed about it. It wasn't in your control and everyone definitely couldn't have been bothered by it. We're glad you're safe. TBH, I forget sometimes my family or friends are allergic to things and then sometimes I'm hyper aware they are. It definitely happened, but if you were outright asking her, I feel like how could you forget, especially if you went to the store, brought walnuts and had to cut them up or open them and put them in the brownie. Part of me wonders if she didn't make it. Like, was it pre-made or her mum made it or SMTH? I don't think she was planning on killing you, but I understand this must have been scary. Op, no, she made them homemade, that's why it's so confusing. I was at her apartment writing a paper in the other room when she made them. I feel like I could understand forgetting while buying the stuff or making them, but then after I asked twice and said I was feeling sick. Like, how does it not click in your head, oh shit, I forgot, until I'm literally going into shock? The whole thing is just so confusing. Commenter 4, I don't mean to sound rude, but is she forgetful or lacks common sense elsewhere, and this could be why? Maybe there's a problem you're not aware of and it's time to sit down and talk. You don't have to bring this up at all, just ask if something's wrong as she feels distant and then see if she says there's an issue. If so, then this may be an indication to it being on purpose. Or do you think one of your friends could ask her, then spill the information to you in case she admits to it? Op, sometimes she gets a little unreasonable if she's having an episode. She's bipolar, but she's been taking medication and therapy and she's made so much progress. I read another comment and maybe I really am overeating and she didn't mean to. Update, thank you all for offering your input and support. I didn't expect that many people to respond, and the kind words really helped. After reading over the comments, I believe my girlfriend thought I was exaggerating, faking my allergy, and tried testing me by purposely putting those walnuts in the brownies. Intentional or not, she almost killed me, and I was never going to be able to get that trust back. Someone who loves me would not do that to me. I called her and asked to talk at her apartment. When I got there, we sat down and began talking about it. I asked her about what I said above, and she vehemently denied it. I started to re-list off all the stuff that happened and said I don't believe her. I also mentioned how she's forgetting that, planned or not, she almost killed me. She began going on this weird rant and got angrier and began calling me crazy for thinking she's even capable of that. I held my ground and calmly said I still don't believe her. That's when she started breaking down and sobbing. She was sitting next to me at the time and kind of threw herself into my arms. She didn't even say anything, she just sat there and sobbed. I felt bad, so I let her. I told her that I had been thinking, and while I don't believe her, it almost didn't matter because now I can never truly feel secure around her knowing she could forget something that could literally cost me my life. That was when she began trying to initiate sex with me. I turned her down and told her I'm breaking up with her before walking out of the room and driving home. I have been in an emotionally abusive relationship before. She knew what she was doing when she tried that. She never admitted to adding the walnuts in on purpose, but the way she acted when she realized I wouldn't budge almost confirmed it for me. Still, I really wish she outright admitted it for closure because breaking up with her fucking sucks. I know it's easy to look at this story and say I'm better off, but I really was happy dating her for almost a year, and now I'm completely alone. I'm not sure why she did it or thought it would be worth proving a point, but I guess I just have to be okay with that. Either way, thank you everyone for helping me not let it slide and really standing up for myself and not giving in to the BS. The advice was greatly appreciated. Any advice on getting over a breakup? Relevant comments. Commenter 1, congrats dude. The way she reacted is odd. The way she won't admit to anything but then won't understand your side of the story to try and clear her story up. Red flag. Also the sex part? Wow. I'm glad for you though. Op, exactly. Instead of trying to come up with a good reason, she just got angry and tried blaming me. When I stayed calm and showed her that wasn't gonna work, she starts sobbing uncontrollably. And after that fails, sex? Why not? I'm sure that'll get me to forget all about it and we can just go on our merry way. Something tells me she's off her medication again. She never acted like that except for her manic episodes. Really sad it to end over something as stupid as a food allergy, but I'm not taking the chance. Commenter 2, oh, I didn't know she was on medication. Maybe this is a good explanation. Op, maybe, but I don't think so. She takes the lowest possible dose of Depakote, which is a rapid mood stabilizer. Memory loss isn't one of the symptoms. I thought maybe that's what it was as well, but I highly doubt it. Commenter 3, did you never mention she was bipolar? That could have a lot to do with it since side effects can cause confusion and memory loss and mood swings. Hence her inability to remember the walnuts and hence her reaction from anger to sadness. It's possible she couldn't give you an answer BC, she genuinely cannot remember. I mean, I'm glad you're okay, but I hope you didn't just miss out on a possibly good relationship based on those terms. Op, maybe, and I am really sad to end it and it's hard to. But to quote a comment, it's even harder to breathe through anaphylactic shock. Also, her trying to manipulate me with sex was just really gross on her part. I'm not going to go into detail, but I was in an abusive relationship where my ex would do terrible shit to me and try to console me with sex to show how much she loves me and didn't mean it. She knew that, and her doing it anyways was an especially low blow. That was the final straw. I do hope if it's her bipolar she's able to get the help and support she needs, but it won't be from me. I need to move on. Commenter 4, wait, your ex-GF is bipolar and on mood stabilizers? Why didn't you mention this earlier? Op, I did mention it in some of the comments, but TBH, it just didn't seem relevant. She started back on them, or she told me she did, about 3 months ago after she blew up and hurt one of her siblings. Since then she's been totally fine and she hasn't mentioned any unwanted side effects except sometimes feeling nauseous after taking it.